Hello, welcome back to Popcorn and Plot Holes. This week we are we're talking about M3GAN, the AI-powered, slightly murderous robot.
Slightly murderous?
I mean, she could have done a lot more murders, and she
Fair.
refused.
So the incompetent murderous AI.
Yeah, I feel like when you're on a killing spree, you might as well just spree it up, you know?
Fair.
With me this week, as you've heard, is Luciano.
Yes, I'm here and I hate AI.
And we also have Chris from Parts Known.
Parts Known indeed. I hope our listeners, there's a certain degree of listeners that are parents as well, because going through this is definitely it's going to be very cathartic. I have to say.
Or is it?
We'll find out.
For me.
We are missing the fourth member, Spencer. He decided that even though he named this series of movies the Jackathon, he decided to jackathon off to Greece for a few weeks.
Oh, no.
Crazy.
So you're welcome. So he's not joining us. So it's just going to be the three of us for the second movie in the Jackathon, a.k.a. the Jack-o'-lantern-a-thon for Halloween.
Chris went outside to laugh. That's what you guys heard.
That's what it
now.
was.
It's mic control. Mic control.
Let's talk about M3GAN. M3GAN is was it 2022?
Yes.
2021?
2022, 2023. I think it was January 2023.
Yeah. It's a movie about AI robot that is designed to be a toy and does what all toys do, murder things and people. Thoughts on the movie? Anyone?
A few, yes.
Great. Share.
My
Go,
first
yes.
thought is a question for the both of you. What genre was this movie?
Well, we are supposed to do movies from the genres of fantasy, action, comics, thrillers, and sci-fi. We thought this was a thriller. I was not thrilled by this movie.
Nor sci-fi was I.
Nor sci-fi, no.
Yeah,
no, because
yeah.
they didn't use any science.
No. It was a lot of fiction.
Well, I mean, fantasy, I guess, is what we're going with. Heavy science fiction fantasy.
Ugh.
This movie was
Covering 3 of the 5. 5? 6? 5.
I see your logic, but at the same time, I feel like we've stepped outside of our domain of mastery, because this movie was more like a documentary on through the lens of Ancestry and Me AI. How does M3GAN find her connections and roots with her long lost relative Chucky?
Well, and her long lost descendant Skynet.
Twice removed from Wall-E, because
No, don't you dare bring Wall-E into
You
this.
can't sully Wall-E's name like that.
listen.
How many people did Wall-E murder?
The only one he murdered was the only thing he murdered was Eve's box.
Exactly.
Wow.
You walked
I
into that.
thought he was gonna say Eve, and I agreed too soon.
He did. Welcome back to the Jackathon.
There's a lot of port-to-port connections there.
There was a lot of. Thank you. Good job. No, so M3GAN, we're gonna get into some plot holes. We'll try not to spoil them in the next section, but I guess I'll start with Allison Williams portraying Gemma, the sort of lead architect. I don't want to call her scientist because that's not right at all. Developer? I don't know what she does.
Please
Robotics?
don't do that. For my sake, don't call her a developer.
The lead murderer.
Yes, there you go.
She didn't commit any murderers. Murderers?
She enabled them.
So she is a robotics engineer, and she built this robot, Bruce, which comes into play later. Great foreshadowing, everybody.
Yeah.
Paint by numbers movie. Thank you for just spelling everything out. So, that works. I don't know if Allison Williams is a good actor. I think she has the ability. But the question I have rolling around my head is, Was it James Wan or James Lin that directed this movie?
I don't know. Lynn, I think.
No, it was Gerard Johnstone. Maybe James was a
none
producer.
of the above.
I was wrong on both accounts. Anyways, I'll confirm that. But that's the director. Anyways, did the director, the person Chris just mentioned,
I'm reading
give her directions? Yeah, I just don't remember what you said.
Oh,
it's good podcasting. Did that person that Chris mentioned about an hour ago?
His name is Gerard, sir.
Did Gerard tell,
Jerry, if you will?
Did Jerry tell Allison Williams to be like a disconnected sociopath?
I know exactly. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's either that, or she's like a really bad actress. I have never seen her in anything else.
I have.
And so, how was her portrayal
in Get Out? She played it straight to the point of me being afraid of her, and then in her previous role, Girls, she was mostly wooden in that as well. With
so
inflections of human emotion. But
because to me, she plays this in here. She is like. When she finds out her sister's dead, then she finds, now I have to take care of my niece. Yeah. And even throughout all of the shit that happens, she has like this slightly constipated face the whole time. Yeah.
Like, what an inconvenience.
And I'm like, is she like supposed to be like a narcissistic psychopath with no empathy? Is that what she's supposed to be? Because if it is, job well done.
Well, I think you have to be if you are said, hey, create a toy, and you make up hyper realistic, it's not fair, hyper stylized version of AI that to me is just like, that's fucking a killing machine. That is a killing robot. That robot will kill immediately.
Well, even
the military
before,
wants this
right?
contract.
Yeah, and even before like the stuff she was working on, she was like, "Oh, I put in a listening thing on the other toys to learn from kids talking to each other." And it's addressed like in one sentence.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't just tell me this right now, and then dropped completely from the face of the earth. Yeah, and maybe she's supposed to be a little bit of a psychopath.
She plays it so straight. She plays the straight role into the ground of absurdity. I don't understand.
Actually, can we... It's not really attention, but can we talk about this? Because we were talking about the genre before we end into this. But like, is it supposed to be that this movie was tried to not take itself super seriously but failed? Because I have that feeling that because the first thing that we see is that stupid commercial for the toy, and it's so over the top dumb and like crazy, and then we see the other commercial and it's also crazy, and I got the feeling that it tried to be this sort of like sardonic kind of deal, but it failed completely to actually. Like, did you guys have the same feeling? That it tried to be this like, super sarcastic, sardonic thing and fell on its face?
It was trying something for sure, because you've got really strong castmates like Ronnie Chieng, like lovely comedian, right? So how do you balance that in a horror thriller? Like, it's like they brought the wrong ingredients for a cake that's supposed to be delicious. Does that make sense? Like,
I know what you mean. It's like they're trying to make like chocolate cake and someone brought in the finest cut of Parmigiano Reggiano.
Correct. And
it's a good ingredient, but doesn't fit. I see what you mean.
And this is not the fault of Ronnie at all, because his presence was great. It was like a great palate cleanser in the scenes he was in. Kurt.
Oh, I disagree.
I liked him in it. I
don't because I don't think it fit.
It didn't, but it's a palate cleanser for all the right and wrong reasons. This whole thing is like one terrible car wreck of a product.
Call out.
Just pull over. Yeah. Like, we shouldn't. Like, Daryl, just pull over. What do you expect me to do? I didn't put chains on the tires.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like that movie, like it alternates from that commercial where it's supposed to, like, it's highly like sarcastic and sort of like some sort of a critique to something, where it moves to straight up like horror with the whole like going to the mountains and that it can't see anything and it get exploded by some truck or whatever. And the movie never really settles on one or the other, right?
Oh, it settles on not being a horror film at all.
It tried.
This is not a horror film. A horror film, like, and to its credit, or not to its credit, but like, I appreciate them not showing all the murders graphically because, like, I don't want to see the dog die. I don't want to see the parents die.
Yeah.
But like, they ripped off Brando's ear and tossed him in front of a truck. You got to see that. Mm-hmm. But like, after that, for whatever reason, you know, Ronnie Chang got stabbed and Kirk got stabbed.
Yeah.
But
impaled.
Like impaled technically.
And like, why? Yeah. Why did they get impaled?
Yeah. But yet she didn't kill either the like tech assistants.
That's right.
That didn't even get names I saw. They were just like
she just like they were holding her quote unquote prisoner, and she just walked away from them.
She was going to kill him when she escaped.
Especially the dude who was jousting her with the Q-tip.
This is a cautionary tale, this movie, because that's what's going to happen with the fucking Boston Dynamic robots who they keep fucking pushing with the same stick. That's going to be
American Gladiators Q-tip.
You need to push. You need to push. What I learned from this movie is if you push them, you're fine. They like you. It's the non-pushers.
Oh, it's respect. Problem. It's begrudging respect.
That's
I
right.
see.
So you're not afraid of it. Okay.
She tried to kill him.
Cole and Tess were the two.
She did try to kill him with the cables and stuff.
True.
Right?
Distraction.
Yeah, but like that explosion.
What was that? What was that for?
I don't know.
What did that do?
It's punctuation on her exit.
Honestly, that's what it is. Like, why when she runs into David in the corridor, why does she fucking dance like? I almost died of cringe with that.
I died of laughter.
I cringe so hard.
This is yet another example of why Gemma is a terrible newly minted parent, because your only job as a parent is to keep your child off the pole, and it's exactly what dang.
Push rock.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Good. Thank you for seeing it.
I don't think it looked like a pole dance. It looked like some awkward, weird. Like
it was a little too sexual of a dance that made me very uncomfortable.
It was a little too
sexual. She got
the
S curve. She hit the S curve way too well. She's supposed to be a child robot, not a child stripper. No thanks.
Yeah. Anyway,
so you know, I don't think this is a horror movie at all because nothing was like. I don't love pure horror movies necessarily. I didn't need jump scares. I didn't need I didn't need something as far as like, you know, Eli Roth's like, you know, what's that style? Like
what you're saying, you weren't expecting human centipede.
Torture porn.
Porn.
Like you weren't expecting human centipede, is what you're saying.
No, I was not. But at the same point in time, I'm like, you know, it's a horror film. Like when we watched
Nope.
Friday the 13th. So we watch Halloween. That's what when we watch Halloween. Like there are a bunch of kills there, right? Like, and they're not graphic per se, but like you see them get killed. So it's just like, okay, this is a murder robot. Let's go. You know, go murdering. And she's just like, nah, I guess when I get around to it, I'm just gonna be mostly creepy and psychopathic and not actually get any of my things done.
For our listeners, we're talking about a movie that we all watched for another life. But you know, maybe we'll find out later on why we watched it.
I have two rapid fire questions. One, do you know what this movie scored on Rotten Tomatoes?
So I don't remember what the critic score was, but I do remember the
scored well.
Yeah, the audience score is 93%.
And I'm like, how?
And like, fucking, how can 90% of the people be idiots? Like, there's no way.
Hey man, how many people love Big Bang Theory?
Oh, fair.
Like, I think it's it like, and we'll get into it with the tech stuff. And when you don't know tech, it's like that's a fun story. And then when you do know tech, it's just like I'm trying to suspend belief, but come on, guys, like this is a bit much.
They in this movie, many a time they took suspension of disbelief into an alley and shot it in the back of the head. The other
thing I'd also say is, you know, we all love Terminator and we talked about Skynet.
Get down.
But like in many ways, how many killer robots?
Get out!
You must remember to floss.
Why?
I told you to wash your hands with soap. Are you kidding me?
Arnold would be a better parent. That's true.
Yeah.
But like knowing their experience with murderous robots, I think it's like listen, a murder robot story is always a great story. But I think for a lot of people, this is a new story. It's fresh, right? They don't have the baggage of all the murder robot stories we have that are, arguably better.
Right. But this, like, even outside of comparisons, this is just not a good story in my book, at least.
Not according to Rotten Tomatoes. The tomato meter scored higher than The Dark Knight. 93%. 93%.
Yeah, I told you it was 93%.
And then the audience score was 78. This is apparently a horror / mystery.
The opposite, no?
That's what it says.
Oh, is it? It's the critics that liked? Oh, my God.
And then
I thought it was the opposite.
This is supposed to be a horror / mystery. This is what it says. And thriller. How does a movie that's rated PG-13 pull this off?
Sorry, was it mystery? What was the mystery?
Says horror mystery. Well, the mystery.
The mystery was who thought this was good. Who thought this was a good idea? That's the fucking mystery.
Who could jump on it faster was the answer there. No, it's fine. The movie, the movie wasn't bad, and we'll get to our ratings, at the end of the show. But it wasn't
good.
The movie, as I described it to my wife, is in the scenario where you want people to love you or hate you because at least they have an emotional reaction to you, and you never want to be just like, they're just like, I don't even think about you. I had nothing to say about this movie initially. I was like, I don't know what I just watched. I feel like there's an hour and 40-minute void in my life that
I
have no
Apathy
emotional response to it. Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a good rating to me that you would find on a VHS.
Megan. You won't mind it.
Megan, you're not going to, you'll feel, Megan, you'll feel nothing.
Megan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Megan. But what I read, like the little blurbs of reviews that I read, they were like, oh, the movie doesn't take itself seriously and it came here to be like, this is a good horror comedy. I'm like, where is the comedy, bitch? There's no comedy in this.
Was one of the...
Unless we are the clowns for watching
we were the clowns.
Then maybe.
We were the clowns. We were made to be clowns.
I don't... unpaid clowns at that.
Well, unpaid, yes. And I hope Megan didn't enter the house. It's a good thing I can see behind me.
It's just Matt's fat ass sitting down. I
heard the door. I heard a door open and shut. That's exactly. See, look, if I've learned a lot of things from my time
from horror
movies. You pay attention to your surroundings. You don't like, oh, it was nothing. Let me just go back to what I was doing.
Chris, that's because the black people die first. That's why, right?
I was gonna say it, but I'm glad I didn't.
That's why you're so like on edge.
No, it's genre savvy. You should be savvy like that. It's like
how many? So let's bring this back. Let's bring this back out of racism and back to podcasting. How many other genre tropes did this movie knock off the board?
For
horror.
I mean, it tried for sci-fi with all the techno babble bullshit.
That's not a horror trope, though. That's just a random thing.
I thought just a trope.
No, but I want the horror tropes. Yeah.
So
jump scares.
She amps up her killing right at first. It's just it's a little thing, just a dog, and then the dumb neighbor, and then a kid in the forest, and then just murdering people in the office building.
But hear me out. She kills the dog because the dog bit the girl. That's fine.
Warranted.
Dog had it makes sense within the context of this movie.
Megan was right.
The woman comes in and threatens them, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna kill this woman too. But then she does it with a little bit too much glee and cruel and unusual punishment. It's like she could have just she had a nail gun. She could have just shot the woman in the head with a nail gun. But she decided to kill her with
power.
I don't know what that was. Insecticide. Yeah.
Because it was brown liquid coming out of it.
Yeah, that was a little bit too gleeful in its torture. You know what I mean?
Do I not understand how power washers work? Because I was sort of confused when she shot that old lady with a power washer and she flew back 50 feet. I know it's a pressure washer, but I don't think it's that pressurized.
Oh, maybe she hacked it like she hacked every fucking thing else in this movie, and it shot a lot faster. No, please don't accept that as an explanation, Chris. Please,
you brought it here.
Well, it's that lack of show and tell. Like it could have been that first glimmer of her, amping up the volume or the output without physically interacting with the thing.
But why? I think that was one of the
to make it lethal
that I got,
because it might not have been lethal before.
No, but why did she have to do that when she's a computer, right?
Okay.
She had a nail gun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't she just use the most efficient method? Just shoot the woman full of nails.
Where did Megan learned that death is trivial, but where did Megan learn to be a sociopath? What website did Megan read that was just like, when you kill somebody, make sure you do it in the most fucked up way possible?
Gary Busey's autobiography said.
Yeah, that would do it. No, I think what happened is because she's an AI, so she learns not just from what she sees, but like from her own experiences. I think she spent a few evenings maybe watching reality TV, and that's what happened.
I think, plus one, I think she learned from going down the pathway of, like, she was trying to unpack the pricing models from Ancestry and me. And she was like, oh, wait a minute. What are these? Is this home footage of my long lost cousin Chucky? What are his methods? Why did he do that? What? I can take a life.
So I think Chris, just like the people in Hollywood, doesn't really understand how AIs work. Chris, AIs are not alive. They don't have DNA. They can't have ancestry.
This is comedy, my friend.
I hate to break this to you.
You have broken nothing.
I hate that I have to be the one to tell you
this. This is the worst yes and space I've ever worked in. You broke in and I don't care for it.
This is no, shut up, not yes and.
I will point out that you basically said that the robot learned to be a murderer by watching
horror movies.
What was it?
Reality TV.
Reality TV. My wife watches a lot of reality TV. Should I be
What
concerned?
show was it? What show was it? Was it?
Yes. No, just yes. Flat
out.
Well,
we need something to go off of. Is it like, what is that $1 million listing? Could it have been that?
Is that why is that your reference point for reality
TV? That is so weird.
It doesn't matter. I asked you.
I was
going to
say The Deadliest Catch. But,
oh, that sounds scary.
What? How would you learn about murder through $1 million listing?
Because the agent,
the decor is deadly.
The agent made a killing on that sale.
She learned her taste for killing from hating puns. That's what happened.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I hate this line of conversation. Let's switch to something completely different. The movie. We've talked about Allison Williams' acting. She was there. This is a fun topic because I know historically Luciano hates child actors. He wishes they are a plight on.
I never said that.
They're a plight on humanity, is what you told me, and I just want to know how you thought the two child actors did in this movie.
I actually think that Violet McGraw, who plays Katie, was the best actress in this whole movie. Honest to God, not even kidding. Because I was convinced that she was grieving and like being a spoiled child grieving.
Piece of shit.
Basically. Chris, don't be this way.
I'm doing it.
You're a parent.
I am a parent.
Don't be this way.
And I was pissed.
No, but there are some. That's why I think a lot of the problems here lie with the direction more than with the actors, because in a lot of the scenes where Katie was there, like I was believing, she was selling the whatever emotion, like when she has that conversation with Megan when they're doing the demonstration and she cries and she said, like, I believed all that, like it was very touching, right? Mm-hmm. But then there are some other scenes where she's like
eating a hot dog and menacingly. Fine.
No.
Fine, Gemma. Nom nom.
Yeah. So that scene where she's like in the car
kicking. No thanks.
No, not the beginning, but like when
she did it the second time. She did it second time.
Like it was like like it was so
the character
out of the blue. The girl that plays Megan, I don't remember her name. I don't know how much of her acting is in this.
Good
I know
question.
it's a little bit.
Amy Donald.
That's it. Yeah. I think she did fine. I was creeped out, and I think that was the idea. So good job there. But
yeah, they did use another actor's voice for her.
Yeah,
so.
Jenna Davis.
What? Yeah. It's an older person, right? That does the voice. Yeah. I was very creeped out. So good job there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I especially hated the singing, all of the fucking singing.
Yeah, that was
she did. Why?
very
I was so
out
angry
of
at that.
place.
It wasn't singing. It was her playing songs off Spotify.
I could accept that.
She literally sang.
Her mouth was moving.
When Katie was crying. I was angry.
You didn't like Titanium?
No. No.
It does take me back to when I was a kid and I had I didn't have an AI powered robot toy, but I did have a
Teddy Ruxpin. He was powered by AI for sure.
Well, I love that.
Wow,
Mine
Teddy
was
Ruxpin, Jesus.
His name was Corky, and you would put a cassette tape in the back, and then his mouth would move in his eyes. And when I was younger, like when I first got it, it was adorable. But then when I got older, he was creepy as fuck, especially when the Child's Play ads would roll through TV. And I was like, I don't like having this anymore. And I started to beat up.
Somebody buried this motherfucker in the yard.
You know, and I would like suplex and practice all my wrestling moves on Corky because I just had to release the demon soul from within.
So wait, your demon soul or Corky's demon soul?
I said what I said.
Yes, it's just yes. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Also, don't besmirch the good name of Child's Play with this movie, because Child's Play is a fun movie. Okay?
I won't
I was actually scared. I was actually scared of Chucky my whole childhood.
You fucking loser.
What?
No, because he was ginger. Oh, you wouldn't know anything about that, Matt.
For our listeners, that was an insult because of...
No, it wasn't. It was just the truth.
Oh, my God. Oh my god!
Yeah, I'm sorry. I meant strawberry disgusting.
That's better. Thank you. That's our word.
We're taking it back.
Yeah, we're taking it back. So this movie was an hour and 40 minutes, and we show up. Katie's parents die. Honestly, I don't know why we needed to see that. We could have just shown up, and Katie, and it's fine. Katie shows up at her doorstep, and she throws this robot to her feet and was like, make friends with this robot.
Make friends with this robot because I fucking can't be bothered
I've got a presentation tomorrow at 10 a.m. and Auntie has needs. Cues the dildo.
Wow. That's not the kind of presentation. This is not Jackathon you're thinking of. But so... As soon as possible, Allison Williams is like, go do something else.
I don't. Right? She's like, I don't care. She's like, I don't care. Take the tablet.
Use the iPad, screen time, bring it out.
Mommy needs Bruce.
Mommy needs Bruce. And so we get to the point where she's supposed to create a smaller version of the perpetual pet. What do they call those things?
Perfect. Perpetual pets with a Z. I fucking hate all of that. So it's just perpetual pet. And they got to make a smaller version because they got to crush the competition, who I guess is Hasbro. Just sidebar, I don't think you're competing against the right company if you think you're competing against Hasbro. What do I know? Maybe Hasbro paid for their name to be in this movie. And so they do this. Can you explain the office they work in? Because they show it many times. It is a 50-story tower. Yeah.
Why is everything fucking red?
I don't know.
Who painted these walls red? What is that theater room?
Yeah, I was gonna say, why does that like theater room look like it would belong in a theater from the 50s with like red velvet and shit? I don't understand who the designer was for that.
That's where snuff films were made, in that theater.
Yeah. Yes.
Foreshadowing.
I don't.
Red.
Oh no.
The color of our enemy's blood.
What kind of an office is it that where apparently someone can just move their lab wherever the fuck they want and can change the security of the door so then nobody can come in, and also use $100,000 however they want.
Yeah, what kind?
Without any approval.
What kind?
She's a super genius. That's you didn't know.
On.
You didn't pick that up?
No, I wasn't buying what they were selling. If that's what you're asking.
That's interesting. That's seems like a weird choice on your part.
Double down on that.
Yeah.
Like it's
I don't know
why, and then keep going.
I don't understand. Like usually that sort of like because they had to have like a manufacturing site, right, to actually build the toys and do that. Like that's usually not in a building like that. It's usually like a plant somewhere
else.
That's why they got a very expensive 3D face shipped to them from parts unknown.
And they probably use like what? How do you pull off a titanium alloy body for your build? Like you can you 3D
at $100,000 only?
Can you 3D print that? I don't know. Like
no, I don't think you can.
No,
you got to test that, right?
You would order it from somebody, like that's fine. They can get all the parts from somewhere. I'm not too concerned about that. I'm concerned about you're trampling all over the first plot hole. So let's just drive into it since you won't let it go at this point. They spent $100,000 of the company's money, and Ronnie Chang is very unhappy, and they're very scared because they spent $100,000 of the company's money to build M3GAN.
Yeah,
right.
And then M3GAN's face explodes because Cole does not put on, and let's see if I quoted this correctly. He forgets to add is it polypropylene barrier? Was that what it was?
Polypropylene, yeah,
the barrier, and so that makes her face melt and explode. And then Allison Williams takes her home and fixes her in what I can tell is 2 weeks basically, because they
at
a
most,
week,
yeah,
a week because they have the presentation, and they push it a week, so it's a week. So a couple questions here. Why does everybody think $100,000 is a lot of money? And secondarily, how did any of this get done in the time frame they show us?
Montage.
Chris, it's like, I know you like movies,
yes,
but montages are something to show actual time in a smaller space.
I didn't say it was a good montage. I should allow me to rephrase.
It could be the worst montage, but it still takes a bunch of time to create that montage. You catch what I'm throwing down?
So your question is how did they make that work?
How do they build M3GAN in a week with $100,000?
So okay, hear me out.
Yeah.
Hear me out. So
don't say montage.
Didn't they fix
do
her?
it?
No, I won't. She was
fixed.
So
okay, sure.
No, they have to. They needed money to rebuild her after being told that they couldn't use company resources anymore.
Oh shit!
Right. So let's assume that they had some leftover money. Whatever.
From what?
How do they make up the rest? Hear me out. Hear me out.
Go.
Because Gemma was the head developer, engineer, whatever, right? She knew how to do all of those things
for the entire company. It seems
she even knew how to paint the robot pretty and do all the things, right?
Because fuck her teammates.
So that's the thing. So what were those other two the two assistants? What were they doing? They had contacts in sweatshops all over Asia. And that's what they brought into the table. They were able to make this with $100,000 because they had actual children building all of the parts.
I knew you would get here eventually. And to that I say, what took you so long?
I was trying to see the good in people, Chris. My mistake.
This Jackathon has been brought to you by the goodness in Luciano's heart.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say this Jackathon was brought to you by Foxconn. But no, okay, that's good.
I don't want to be here.
Foxconn.
That's the only way, Matt, to answer your question. That's the only way that they can do this with peanuts.
But why do they settle on $100,000? First, because two questions.
It's the Dr. Evil problem.
No, but this is a real movie. This isn't this is a movie that's trying to be serious, I think, to some degree.
Is it?
It
maybe
tried, but
in a world where this movie is trying to be serious, at least in terms of the AI robot it builds. Why is $100,000 a lot of company money?
Right.
Because based on having been an employee at companies, her alone, the salary for Gemma alone, if she's creating these robots from scratch,
it's 5 times this
minimum,
least.
right?
Yeah.
And so
easily.
one of these, and maybe the problem is the rate they sell these robots at, because the price they market them at $10,000 seems a little low. And that's a whole other thing.
But think about it: if it costs $100,000 to build and they sell it at 10,000, they sold 10, they've recouped the costs.
But that's
insane.
But so like, okay, but I still don't think that $100,000 is a big deal.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
I'm
agreeing with you. Yeah, like they invested $100,000 into a next generation AI robot.
Ronnie would be a little mad that she didn't make her cheaper version.
Yeah.
But when she had, I spent $100,000 and made a futuristic AI robot, it's like, all right, I'm past it now.
No, even worse, they'd be like, damn.
Thanks for you
fucking
you
hell, you just revolutionized the world of AI and technology for $100,000. That's amazing.
You would have promoted her.
That's less than
on the spot.
That's less than you make in half a year.
So I think you're right. Like the $100,000 is a bit of an odd number because
it's a Dr. Evil problem.
Yeah, and the
100%.
The CEO didn't. Yeah, Ronnie didn't.
Dr. Evil, but sorry, Chris. I just want to dispute this point because Dr. Evil did that intentionally.
I know.
That was a joke for Dr. Evil. So you can't call the Dr. Evil problem because they're not trying to make the Dr. Evil joke.
Are they not? Because I think they were trying to be like. At times they are trying to be funny.
That's not. There's no. You cannot convince me anywhere that that's funny. There's no way.
It's not funny. Yeah.
And you wouldn't try to make that funny.
Yeah.
You just wouldn't.
I didn't
what
read
do you
that
think
as
would be
funny
a better figure?
in this movie.
$100 million?
Yeah. At least several millions of monies.
But is the objective to make it funny as opposed to making the amount the dollar amount viable for the prototype that they made? It sounded like they were trying to make that amount of money seem viable, seem realistic. But you guys are looking
realistic.
at it. That's what I'm saying. You guys are looking at it with a lens. I'm not saying you're wrong, but you're looking at it through a lens.
I'm not even saying that the amount of money is wrong. I'm just saying I don't know why Ronnie Chen is so mad that they spent $100,000.
Racism.
Fuck the
it's racism.
Name. It's just Ronnie Chen. No.
They did. I think they did it trying to be funny. And it didn't land at all. It was
I don't think. I would argue to the ends of the world that was not an attempt to be funny because for a joke to be funny, there has to be some sort of setup or some sort of impetus for the joke. And he just shows up and they're all scared of him because he's mad about $100,000. It just does not make sense.
I think that what happened was there was nobody involved in writing that or making nobody that was involved with making this a reality from the script to the acting and the directing and everything. Nobody knows how a company actually works. They're used to like movie making and studio and that kind of
you're used to making movies. Movies don't like $100,000 making a movie is not an amount of money that makes sense to anybody. That's chump change. You fucking burn that on a day of filming.
A day, 100%. Less, depending on who you're filming with. Yeah. I don't know where that number could have come from other than a blunder at writing the script.
What if the economy in this world is fucked? Because it's obviously a different world from our own. So the economy, inflation doesn't exist, and the economy hasn't grown since just after the Depression. So
29.
Yeah. So like bread's still a nickel. Milk still, a hay penny.
See.
And so
like Gemma makes like $10,000 a year.
At maybe $150.
150.
$150. I don't know, like $10,000 maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Right? And so in this world where Gemma's salary is like $200 a year, $100,000 is a lot of money. $10,000 is probably too much to ask for the robot.
Divide everything by 1,000, and then maybe you have the economy of this movie. That would make sense.
Okay, so Gemma makes about $500 a year, we'll say.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how anybody's going to buy this robot at $10,000, but that at least makes more sense.
Yeah, I don't know. And any of what we said makes more sense than whatever the fuck happened in the movie. So,
can we talk about the time aspect then? Because we nailed the money thing.
Time.
So,
the
time Megan's face explodes.
The first V1. Right, in the movie.
V1's Megan's face explodes. And we were taught when they had the little session with Bruce that her brain sits inside the face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how did she rebuild the nervous center of M3GAN in a week?
Is that what broke? I can't remember. Did the brain?
They don't show. It just explodes.
Because the mouth started to malfunction and then it caught fire, I thought.
Yeah, I had never seen a robot have a stroke before.
Oh my god.
That was the first.
Yeah. Okay, maybe it didn't explode, but then nothing had to be done. Like I don't if you're saying to me the rubber face just melted, then what had to be fixed? It seemed like there's like superfluous damage. So why was it like a big heroic montage to like fucking put M3GAN together in a week if nothing was wrong with her?
Good question.
Well, I think what they fixed was more the programming than the hardware. I think that was the idea. That there was, remember, because in one of the many technobabbles that made me cringe and want to die and crumble inside myself and disappear, when she said, "This is a race condition, I can fix it in a minute." Like, I'm like, fucking, do you even know what a race condition is? I'm not going to get into it, but whatever. But it's like,
I know what a race condition is. Go on.
I think
I know.
But like I think the idea was like, oh, I'm gonna rebuild, like fix the code or whatever. That they even show like in the little montage, the montage they show uploading language model or learning model or whatever the fuck that was. I think they just had like Gemma had some sort of an epiphany watching Katie and Bruce together, and then she just like fixed the code or whatever the fuck it was.
Okay,
but this is grasping hard at straws here. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Even that would have taken like a few months. Like coding AI, especially recoding a language model and a learning model, is hard.
Low, it seems.
And it takes time because you have to train the model.
Well, yeah, there was no training, right? She was just good.
She was just trained. Well, they did say that the fucking psychopath that Gemma is installed, like the other pets were learning from the conversations among the kids, which is fucking like 100% scummy corporate thing that someone would do.
It's exactly what.
But like, if she changed, and I don't want to get too technical here, but if she changed the AI, like the code, like the machine learning code, she would have to retrain that neural network on the data jet. Like, it would take a long time to train. It's not something you do like in 5 minutes.
Chris, we're gonna go into this, and prepare yourself.
Gird your loins.
Gird your loins. The jackathon is going real deep.
Oh Lord.
Because this is a plot hole that has to be addressed, and I understand that people are probably not worried about it, but we are because we're all nerds.
Okay.
AI does not work like this.
Yes.
They use AI like Harry Potter uses magic.
Yeah.
And
100%.
And it's fine if you wanted to use the logic of we taught her, we gave her a bunch of things and we taught her, how to interact with kids and to protect Katie and maybe some jujitsu. That's fine. Like, in the Matrix, you get to just, download it into your brain. Cool.
Blink, blink.
But the thing is like, to Luciano's point, it takes months and tons of data to do all this stuff. And they basically just sit her in front of Katie and she learns how like empathy and how to talk about dead parents, which they kind of show that, I guess. But like, then she learns how to take over cars and learns how to be a sociopath. How did she learn that in the space of a week?
And how did she learn to hack her own code to the point where she could corrupt the log files? And this is the worst part of it. So she was able to prevent videos from uploading. She was prevented like
GPS location,
the log from doing whatever it needed to do. But it still showed that she was in the log, that she was stopping the log. Like, if she knew how to do the much harder thing, why would she just let them find out? What the fuck was that?
Just delete it altogether. Like, there is no file.
Yeah, exactly.
It's if I try to trace these things to the movie showing us, right? So the movie does a good job because they show us early on. They talk about Bruce, and they show us that Bruce has that nervous system. That's how you kill a robot, right? So when I think technically Gemma did it, right? Did Gemma stab M3GAN in the face, or did Katie stab M3GAN in the face at the end?
I think it was Katie. Katie did it with her like
that's right.
Her fence or her Musashi fence what is it? A repartee? Ha! And then she
Yeah, you're right. So, and that quote unquote stops M3GAN, right? Because she's crawling her half body, and that does that, right? So that's fine. But they don't show us. They just trade on AI being a solve all in a way that just it starts to get weird. It's not like, oh yeah, it's scary. It's like now you're just making up stuff to finish the movie. It doesn't. It seems it's too convenient to just let AI solve all your problems. It makes it less believable.
How did she hack the car? AI. How did she explode the thing in the lab? AI. How did she learn how to be a fucking murderous bastard? AI. Like, it can't just be a wizard did it, but with technology. Like, that's just dumb.
Like, you could have just had her run at high speed home. I would be like, yeah, that's fine. She's a robot. Of course she can do that stuff. But the hack the car
tire. She was sure, exactly. There's a lot of ways that they could have done what they did, right? Without anybody who knows a little bit about it is probably going to be. I know I was very thrown off by the whole thing. Right? There was a number of ways of saying, they had this AI, and then when Gemma saw Katie interacting with Bruce, she decided to build a doll. That would have made much more sense than they had a failed doll, and now they're going to do some spooky sci-fi magic and make it work. Like, what the fuck was that? Right? It's so stupid and annoying.
This movie was Gemma's rise to deadbeat momhood. She's like, I got a project and I don't want to stop it. Oh wait, I got a kid. How do I get this kid off my ass as fast as possible? Oh wait, let me lump some old shit that I worked on and make some new shit. So I can get back to my own shit.
That's literally what you did.
I want to get back to my own shit. Ding! Deadbeat mom achievement unlocked.
It's like this movie is like a bad Black Mirror episode that's too long. Like, because Black Mirror at least takes some care to explain how, like, it's in a little bit in the future, so like you can excuse a little bit of the exaggeration of what they do. Right? And this movie is like, no, this could happen today. No, it couldn't, because logic still applies today.
How does a robotics quote unquote deadbeat mom genius in Gemma, how does a person like that fail to repair their fence and yet they are deemed?
But she never even tried, right?
Doesn't look that way to me.
Well, Chris, she only cares about one thing: her robots. Doesn't care about human interaction. I don't know how she actually talks to her assistants, because she talks to them like humans, which is weird.
Yeah. She seemed to care about the environment when the neighbor was like using those pesticides. She's like, make sure those don't get on my lawn.
I don't think it's environment. I think she just doesn't want it. Her petunia's dead.
Does Gemma had flowers?
No.
Maybe.
I'm kidding.
I will say this. This is a question I have for you both. Black Mirror episodes generally pick one thing, and they kind of focus on that, right?
Right.
Like famously, San Junipero was like sort of the idea of death and what death is like for people and your consciousness being uploaded. But it was very focused on the story it was telling. How would you streamline M3GAN to actually make it a Black Mirror episode? Because to your point, there are so many other, like, a killer AI robot is the big thing, but there's so much other bullshit going on around it that distracts you from the killer AI robot thing. It's like, what would you cut out stuff? Would you make M3GAN more killery robot-y AI? Like, how would you clean this up?
I think I would make it less, because, like, to me, what really throws it off in the way that you're saying, Matt, is they try to make it about both the killer AI thing where, the computer just goes to like the extreme to do, its programming, quote unquote, but also to do, look what happens when you let your child get too attached to some machine or whatever. I would cut one of those out, probably the last one. And like, I would make it more like they built, like, Gemma being the psychopath that she is. She's like, I can't deal with this child. I'm going to build her this doll
nanny,
and she's going to love the
British
doll.
Nanny.
Hello, spoonful of sugar.
Voice by Robin Williams.
Yeah.
and
kids like this
I
is
was just like,
fire.
she would build it, and the girl would end up loving the doll, but the doll wouldn't
love her
back because it's a doll. She would go fucking full Skynet on people. Like, I was fine with like the initial idea of, okay, so Gemma says it's your job to protect her from mental and physical harm, and the robot goes ham on it, but like, stick with it. Don't make her turn into the psychopath killer just because she like apparently had developed a taste for blood, right? Just cut that part out and keep it being like she's an AI. She's not caring. She's just following her programming.
And based on the programming, that's
that's why she kills the dog.
She plays it so straight that it veers into murderous, like a murderous path.
Yeah, she doesn't understand that it's like wrong to murder others to protect Katie.
So then,
but she doesn't go on a rampage and look at a boy whose ear she just torn off and go, "This is the part where you run," and fucking turn into a jackalope to run after him. Like,
man, jackalopes are scary, so maybe she had to.
What is it?
Bunny with horns?
That's what I would do. That's what I would do.
No.
Do jackalopes make a sound? What sound does a jackalope make? But anyways, I've never
sound a jackalope makes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Why does it matter?
I don't know. It's a question that's on my mind. But
jackalopes use telepathy, and so they like make this gross screaming sound that's only in your head. That's the worst part.
That would have been
appreciate that answer.
Right.
I've only seen one episode of Black Mirror, and it terrified me, and I never watched any more.
Was it the first one?
The one with the
pig?
Yes.
No, continue watching. It's less gross and more like tacky. The first episode was made on purpose to kind of shock people.
Well, it hurt me. So
it did its job.
Yeah.
And how?
I'm also wondering about. Okay, well, what did you have in mind, Matt? Like, because like you're the host, and I don't want to pull a Spencer.
Nobody wants to. Nobody should go full Spencer.
But
do you want me to do
it? Then all of a sudden you're Spencering. You have no idea what's happening. Well, I don't know. Were you answering my question, or were you just deciding to ask your own question?
No,
he's asking your question to you.
Oh, okay.
He's reflecting the question.
Yeah, I think I would just. This is supposed to be a thriller or horror movie, so I think a little bit what Luciano said, but I think I would just. It's just like you ratchet it up 10,000 degrees, right? So like her zone of like what is acceptable behavior around Katie just gets like perverted as quickly as possible, because I don't know why Kurt or David die.
Okay,
like
I thought you were going to go.
I don't know why they die in this movie, because like the boy was picking on her, picking on Katie. I get it. Neighbor, gonna mess up their family dynamic. Dog, bitter, cool, but like, okay, then like there should be more people in her life that she's killing, in Katie's life that she's killing to keep Katie. So, I would have thought I thought for sure the therapist was going to get axed.
So did I. I thought she was going to show up in like a trash can somewhere.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, I think that like I don't mind if you're going to do the absurdity of her being like, this is the part where you run and ripped off his ear and he gets run over by a car. Like that was kind of funny, right? Like the different ways she got the kids killed, but like ratchet up the absurdity, right? Like. So like fucking put the therapist in a trash can or whatever would be funny way for a therapist to die, and like. Maybe it's all like psychological, like it's maybe she's doing something where it's all like, you can't prove I killed them, right? Like having the boy run in front of a truck, having her get on a plane that mysteriously crashes, like maybe it's all weird stuff like that, but have fun with the deaths, like make them like, like Final Destination trippy, like, as much as anything else.
I was going to say Final Destination, that's a good idea. Like show her maybe, trying to find out what's the best way to, like looking on the internet, what's the best way to defend Katie, and then finding all of this shit and like knowing that, murder is wrong, but if nobody knows you did it,
if a tree falls in the woods and no one's there to hear it,
something like that. That would have been fun. Like her just finding really clever ways of, making other people take the fall for her crimes or make it seem like
in
an
defense
accident.
of her prime director.
And that's like, fuck it. Don't try to explain it with AI. Just say, this is an AI gone rogue. Fuck it. This is it. Right.
And then her creepiness is implied by the way she makes it look like she didn't murder anybody, even though she's increasing her kill count 10-fold, 20-fold, 30-fold.
Yes.
Not her like talking and like trying to like work through the talk manipulation of Gemma and like all that nonsense.
You could have done that. And I feel like this is a pattern that's been done with creepy dolls across all of horror thrillers. Like something bad happens and then the next shot is of the doll in question that no one's suspecting, but the doll is there, lying there. And then, like, you get that slow pan. But since we know the robot is active,
do like a montage of her, like, just being in, like, more gruesome scenes, like, every time. It's like the last one is her, like, at the scene of an atomic bomb or something. It's just
sure. I was thinking that maybe we just have, like, blood spatter across her face. But, yeah, atomic bomb works, too.
Yeah. And then, yeah, they could have.
I like
the
that.
slow burn reveal.
I think what this goes back to the first conversation we had. I think this movie needed to pick a lane and stay on it, and it didn't, and that hurt the whole thing. It's not good sci-fi. It's not good horror. It's not good thriller. It's not mystery. What the fuck? What mystery? What's the mystery?
I got a mystery for you.
Oh no!
Yes.
Oh yes!
Nice segue.
Yes.
You're welcome. In the end of the movie, for whatever reason, we see Kurt downloading corporate secrets.
The M3GAN secrets.
Specifically, yes. Why?
From a folder that was locked, but he had access to anyway.
He's in charge of the man who's in charge of getting lunch has access to company secrets.
Didn't even have to type a password in.
The most valuable secret in the company, according to the chairman guy.
Yep. And the guy that gets sandwiches has immediate unlimited access.
Yeah. Yes. Jared had access.
That makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah. What is Kurt doing with the corporate espionage?
Why is Kurt?
Why espionage? How espionage?
When espionage?
When espionage?
Why espionage?
Mm-hmm.
What espionage? What's he doing? What is that whole thing there for? Like, you can't sell me on the idea it was just to give M3GAN away to justifiably kill him, because that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That is like
that's a reach,
forcing a joke, right? Like, what was he actually doing that for?
I thought he was going to at the first sight of that scene. I thought he was he was playing stupid and silly so that no one would suspect him as being the mole.
No. See, that would make too much sense, Chris. And you can't have that in this movie.
That was my first impression.
Yeah. No, I thought so too.
But they fumbled that bag magnificently.
Well, it went nowhere, right?
Correct.
Like Matt said, it can't just have been so. Now there's a reason for Kurt to have killed David because David found what?
That was
why?
That was M3GAN's reasoning, and like from the lens of M3GAN, okay, sure, but in terms of like
it doesn't make sense its own reason.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense until M3GAN made it, quote unquote, make sense.
I have to think.
It's too much thinking.
Because it's Kurt, and because this is us. I have to think it has to do with something building a sex robot.
Are you on Pornhub again, Kurt?
Why don't you just call Kurt Jared and be done with it?
Yeah.
Why not? It's fine.
Yeah, I'm fine with that too.
The only two reasons I could think of is one, he was going to sell that, but he doesn't doesn't seem like he has the wherewithal to think of that.
Like, why hadn't he sell? He should have sold it by the point. He should have. Yeah, by the point.
Movie. Yeah, he should have downloaded that thing and disappeared from the movie, and then we should have seen him in the stinger selling those secrets to another company, and that would be the.
Has anybody seen Kurt? Who the fuck is Kurt?
Yeah, and then after the credits, we see him selling it to not Hasbro, Hadsys. There, it's another company.
No.
Okay, I tried.
No, thank you.
But not because let's not get into the reasons why the Elsie, the assistant, like the Alexa Dubbin, lighting up at the end makes no fucking sense as a sequel.
But
it's the AI went to the cloud, bro. Don't worry about it.
No, my God, don't get me started on this.
I said buzzwords. What else do you want from me?
Buzzwords like the podcast equivalent of jazz hands.
Bro,
buzzwords.
I said the words. Okay. So it's like
you said AI cloud.
It's Wingardium.
Explain.
Wingardium Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the cloud, not the cloud.
See,
But Jesus
like,
Christ. Yeah. So like
don't
that
you
would have
get-
been good, but if he wasn't downloading it to sell those secrets to the highest bidder, he had to be
Right.
downloading it for porn. That's really, I don't see another reason.
So sex doll, like someone
Yeah.
said that, right? So
Someone said that. Yeah. Out of the three of us, who here could have said it?
someone said that. Try and prove it.
It was Spencer. It was Spencer.
It was
for
Spencer.
sure.
That, like,
Spencer, if it wasn't you, say something. There you go.
So then Kurt was a mole from Pornhub.
Pornhub. Yeah.
And like he was trying to sell, he's like trying, like, look at the perfect pet. Like furries were into that, I guess.
I really gotta step in here.
No. It's just the AI model. It's not the doll.
I don't know what he and his company are trying to do.
We don't want to go there.
I'm not.
Thank you.
I don't know.
Thank you, Luciano. So he's stealing the information about the M3GAN robot to pull out the generative AI portion.
Yes, and
To make
that's
the
it.
perfect sex doll.
And that's
To
it.
make the perfect sex.
There's no other link. God damn it! Oh God.
Moving on, we have some other questions we
Yes,
have about this
boy,
movie that
please
did
move
not
on.
specifically fit into the plot hole section.
Oh, it fit.
Okay.
This might be a plot hole. I don't know. Hey, is Gemma a war criminal?
Ah!
Hear me out. She has clearly made
Explain.
weapons of war. Right? She only got one so far, but the one was very good at killing. And I'm sure more would be much better at killing if you trained them specifically to kill. Fantastic. And hey, 4-foot killing machines, smaller, tight spaces. They can crawl around in your attic. You know, drop down on some of them. Underestimated, undersized. They're titanium. I mean, that was a real weird choice to make for a kid's robot, to make them out of titanium alloy. But what do I know? Maybe she watched
that was the
Terminator.
only choice that made sense. Is like kids break shit. So it's made
True.
out of
Yeah,
titanium.
but see, this is the thing. I watched this video that talked about how everything that's being made these days is breakable, right?
Okay.
And really the gist of it is from some more news on YouTube if you want to look at it. But the gist of it is like Instapot is bankrupt because the Instant Pot is too well constructed, and we all have one, and we don't need to go buy another one, so they have nothing to sell to us.
Oh man.
And why would you
programmed
sell?
obsolescence?
Yeah.
Yes, you're going to sell a shittier version of the robot because then if the arm falls off, a piece breaks. Now, if that's a $1,000 arm, we can replace that for you, no problem. Now you keep making money even though everybody's got a robot. So
I see.
the titanium alloy is only because you want to be an unstoppable killing machine. That was a choice.
Yeah, and then the company being completely shit at being a company was like, yep, good idea.
They kept trying to tell you this was a toy, and I'm like, no.
No, this is a computerized agent of evil. That's what
This
that
is the world's first generative AI that works at like the increasing rate it does, and you're like, it's a toy.
Guantanamo. It's being sent to Guantanamo. That's
Yeah.
what basically was happening. Yeah.
Are you?
So that's my
tired?
case on is Gemma a war criminal? Yes.
So do
But-
we know her last name? Is it Oppenheimer?
Oh.
Ooh. They do not say. It's just Gemma is on IMDb.
Gemma. Oh.
Okay. Gemma O.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know if she qualifies as a war criminal yet, but I think she might.
Close. Chris?
Because, I mean, first of all, you have to get caught, right?
She's mad.
She clearly got caught. It was in her house. Murdering
Well, she
her.
didn't go to jail at the end for some
Wow.
reason.
That they had just come to arrest her.
Oh,
The movie
I
ends
see.
on her being arrested. Because, like, say what you want about the other people and then them not having proof. Actually, I got to shout out World's Smartest Cops. They're like, oh, yeah, we thought it was an accident. And then we found his ear ripped off, and now we think it's a homicide. Thank you, cops, for doing your job properly.
Yes.
Great work. But so they clearly arrived because now they have M3GAN in her house. She created M3GAN. M3GAN clearly murdered David and Kent. They have that on Kurt. Sorry, whatever.
Put some respect on Kurt's fucking.
He wasn't in the movie long enough for me to care.
He was
Fair.
getting sandwiches.
But so I think she's like on her way to court. There's no way she's not war criminal. I'm gonna look up the definition while Chris gives us his answer.
And the definition of war criminal, the thing you're saying she is, nice. Good job.
Criminal during. Okay, I think Gemma is an unsuspecting idiot.
Oh, I don't think she's unsuspecting.
No.
I think she's just an idiot.
She has to know what she's doing.
She
She's smart
doesn't.
enough to.
She's not smart enough. She ignored all the signs.
I'm sorry. Are you trying to Dunning-Kruger me right now with Gemma? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Because think about it.
Wow.
She built this AI with no fail safes, with no master off switches, with nothing like that.
She had to use a physical. Like you remember when we watched They Killed Tyrone or Clone Tyrone, and there was the Furbo command. They didn't have that.
Yeah, they were smarter.
Chris,
yes.
She had a remote control to turn her volume down. Generative AI,
and she turned it back on her own.
Mm-hmm.
And she has a remote control to turn the volume down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why didn't she have a remote control that turned her off?
I don't know. Also, she's not a war criminal because to be a war criminal, you have to carry out an act during the conduct of war that violates accepted international rules of war. So not yet a war criminal.
What about corporate
I'm pretty sure M3GAN.
warfare?
No.
Hostile takeover.
I think M3GAN breaks the Geneva Convention easily.
Okay, great. But is there an act of war going on?
Yeah, against our
wallets.
Having to watch this shit.
You're better than this.
Am I?
They were locked in a heated battle with Hasbro.
No, I don't think she's a war criminal. I just think she's a criminal. Just a regular, like a run-of-the-mill criminal, not a war criminal.
Which criminal?
It's
tether her to a criminal of your fictitious or real.
Okay,
I'm gonna go first. I think she's at least on. I would say Dr. Claw level. Dr. Claw.
Is that a real criminal?
Yeah. Well, no, he's a fake criminal.
Well,
is it?
He's the
Dr.
master.
Claw's not real. He's fucking Inspector Gadget.
That's right. Chris, this thing is a farce.
That's a cartoon.
That's right. And so was
he said real or otherwise.
That's right.
Oh, okay, real or otherwise. I was gonna say I think she's on the level of like
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Unabomber.
Sorry, who?
Or Jeffrey
I'm
Dahmer.
kidding.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Unabomber.
Woo!
No, that's way too much credit because Unabomber was actually very smart. He was just crazy, and she's not.
No, but I'm not talking about smart. I'm just talking about levels of crime.
Oh, levels of crime. Oh,
like she is responsible for a few murders, however many $1 million or maybe thousands of dollars in this world.
Is that the word?
Of damage, of embezzlement, property damage, all that. Like she built that robot. That robot is not liable to any. Like
the company is. She did it on company. What is it? Premises.
But so
they're she's responsible, but then the company is unfortunately responsible too.
So she's like. That's at very least gross negligence of some sort.
Manslaughter
and probably child abuse.
Yeah.
Because like she set
endangering
a
child.
Non-functioning prototype to fucking raise her niece.
And she's
like, I can't be bothered with you. Here, go play with the defective doll. I'm gonna go do my shit.
And she let what is it? What was the name of the child? Katie. And she let Katie and some camp counselor corner her into letting wow, I'm forgetting the
Brandon?
name. No, forgetting the name of it.
M3GAN.
That's how fucking good this movie was. Like I want to forget
Did you even watch this movie?
I watched it. Don't talk to me. You put some respect on my. I watched the movie before all of y'all. For the listeners that didn't know, I was the only one who watched it on time because we were going to record last week. I'm airing out this dirty laundry behind the scenes.
I watched it too.
Well,
it was only Matt who forgot.
Didn't watch
it was
it on
only
time.
Matt
Spencer didn't watch it either because he's not even here. Anyways,
but I'm the host, so I get to do what I want. And I made you record
see about
later.
that, sir. But like Gemma let these two people corner her into allowing the robot to go onto the premises with a dozen other children where anything can and did happen.
That's true. Like she had no pulse, no backbone, nothing.
All right. Fine. You know what, Gemma? Not a war criminal yet.
But
Moving
a regular
on.
criminal.
Next question. Not a war criminal. That's the only thing I want to know about. Not one yet.
Okay, not one yet.
Did Katie deserve everything that happened to her?
Oh, show your work.
Well, for starters, she was a real biatch to her parents in the car.
Yeah.
I knew the fucking parents. I knew the both of you would agree with this.
And she pulled the same nonsense in the car later on with Gemma.
she like closed fist punched her.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying in the car, she also
the beginning of the movie,
attacked Gemma in the car.
Yeah.
She wants to die in a car. I'm pretty sure that's her only wish.
Yeah.
She actively is trying to make her parents die, and her guardians or parents to die in the car. And then
also she's a war criminal. No, wait, no.
Gemma, to be fair, she did, full on punch Gemma, but Gemma kind of deserved it, so I'm going to pass on that one.
So you're saying that she brought it on herself,
yes,
because she's a little bitch,
maybe.
I wanted to empathize with her, but when she
just a question I'm asking, just a question.
I think she deserved half of what she got. I think she deserved half.
Which half?
That's the question. Whatever is direct.
I'm asking.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. Whatever is in direct proportion to kicking the back of the seat, kicking the car seat, grabbing scissors on a therapist and getting ready to cut another bitch, slapping your guardian. That's 3 strikes.
That wasn't a slap. That was a full-on punch.
I'm looking at the GIF right now, and wait for it.
Open hand.
It was open. It was open. It was open.
Was
it was
open?
open. It was open.
I thought it was closed hand.
It was open. Unfortunately, call it as you will. It was open-handed, which I would say is a bit more disrespectful.
I don't think so.
That's a pimp slap. Okay, he's like,
no, pimp slap would have to be across, like from the convex side of the hand.
Well, listen. Pimp slap. Whatever side of the hand makes the contact is the hand that needed to contact that face.
Give me 2 seconds, and I want you both to imagine a world where in this movie, Katie backhand bitch slaps Gemma in the face. I would be so here for this.
Where is Megan? Where's my toy at?
No,
where is it? Give it to me.
With a pinky ring from somewhere. She never wore it, but now she has one, and then she leaves the streak of the pinky ring on Gemma's face. I'd be so here for that.
She was so angry. She even has the Michael Jackson mean half lip bite. She's like, She's and so Shimon, where is my toy? Shimon. It's the truth. The GIF is priceless.
Okay. So is that a yes, Chris?
I said I will pull. I will say 75% deserved. 75% deserved.
But which parts did she not deserve? That's what I asked, and you haven't answered.
I don't think she deserved to have her relive and break down in that demo room for like the leadership suite. That was wrong.
I would agree.
She was exploited.
That was too much. She's still a kid.
And then like in the like inside the company headquarters of that gigantic billboard
and
screen.
The ad.
That was weird.
And then fucking David going, imagine how much fun it's going to be for a non-damaged kid.
She's thriving.
No, it's like, look at what he did for this poor damaged girl. Imagine how much more fun it's going to be for your kids who is not completely traumatized by their parents'
She didn't deserve those.
Okay, I would agree with that. 75%, I think it's fair.
Moving on. Would you rather live in Florida or live next door to a murderous AI robot?
Ooh.
What's waiting for me in Florida?
Florida.
Racism, lack of gun control.
Is suicide an option?
Well,
in that case, just live near the robot, and it'll happen eventually.
Fair.
I guess I could check in with the robot daily and be like, "How are you doing? What can I do to live a better life? What in your opinion?" And then I'm abiding by its rules and its framework.
Because if we have established that if you use like an American Gladiator pole to poke her,
okay,
and if you kind of stay out of her way, otherwise she won't kill you.
Nope. So even if you work on her every day,
and hang her from her weird sort of like
police system. Clockwork
Orange prison. So I think I would prefer to live like
in Florida.
As Megan's neighbor, because at least I know what I'm dealing with.
You can see the signs.
I can't deal with Florida. I can't fix Florida.
What if you don't know what you're dealing with?
Oh shit.
Okay, so the dog has died, and then.
But then definitely, I wouldn't go to Florida.
And then a neighbor dies, not you, and you're like, because like in the movie, then like next to her house, that neighbor dies, so you're across the street.
Sure.
And now you've seen this is playing.
Oh, I'd be so happy. It was like, that bitch is dead. That's amazing.
The dog always took a shit on my lawn.
Just improved this neighborhood.
Wow,
yeah.
This is really scary. Someone died across. But then, like, think of the level of interaction. Like, if we play by the rules of that neighborhood, Gemma had no other interaction with the rest of the neighbors, so they could survive. Yeah. I think I would choose that neighborhood.
Yeah. Because, Matt, the alternative... It's Florida.
I'm aware. I didn't ask what was waiting for me in Florida. I know what's waiting for me in Florida.
Oh my god!
I would rather be the lady that lives beside M3GAN.
Really?
In Florida.
Really?
Yeah. Just don't have an obnoxious dog and don't be a bitch.
I would even.
So, my dog's very cute. So
Would you? So here's a follow-up question related.
She's also called Bruce. That was some interaction to.
No, that was Dewey. The dog was named as Dewey, and the robot was Bruce.
No,
he missed the joke.
You're missing it. I'm next door. I'm the old lady who's like
yes, you
is
are
not a friendly neighbor.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I have a nice dog named Bruce. Okay. My own dog, currently named Bruce, the real dog.
Yes,
is very cute and friendly.
Yes.
Yep.
Accepted.
So she wouldn't bite Katie.
So then, if you live next to Gemma, would you fix the hole in the fence?
Yeah. Because the first rule of fence holes is like, why is it someone like whose fence is it?
It was a shared fence, so why was it like all
I'll
on
just
Gemma?
Fix it.
Yeah,
and then I'll send her the bill.
Exactly, that's what I was gonna say.
And then
M3GAN wouldn't care. M3GAN wouldn't care about the bill.
No.
What about the emotional? What about
she would bitch slap Gemma to pay the
bill? Think about the emotional trickle down damage. Gemma's like stressing about the presentation, and then there's this bill that's unexpected. And she's like, "What? I can't believe Matt did that. How could he?" And then she slams the bill on the table and walks off in a huff.
M3GAN would backhand bitch slap her and say, "Pay the bill, bitch."
Gemma and I
Katie would do it. She's like, "I need new shoes. Pay this, bitch. Buy me these sparkly light up shoes, bitch." Backhand. Make sure you put. I want these ones from Amazon.
Punctuated?
Yeah.
Punctuated by slaps?
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, perfect.
Nice.
Moving on.
Very well.
So we learned that AI should not be in charge of raising your child. Chris?
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't.
Did you not learn that?
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah, you should have.
You know what? Let me finish the question and you can answer. Okay. We learned that AI should probably not be in charge of raising children. What else should AI probably not be in charge of?
Making our sandwiches.
Try your work.
I think that when it comes to the 100-year-old art of crafting sandwiches that must be consumed, I think a human is the only one that can be trusted, charged. See what I did there? Charged with the responsibility of laying the greens, dairy, and
making a sandwich.
Making a sandwich.
A sandwich.
How is the robot supposed to know whether to put the liquid seasoning at the topmost part of the center core of? Don't you shake your head at me,
Chris. This robot took over cars.
Yes,
it took over. Alexas in the home.
You can't eat
no,
a car
but
or a house.
It could look it up on the internet like any other normal person would do.
But
what?
Then it would learn shit like, oh, there's a hot sauce that is like 9 million Scoville.
There you go, and then you've got a ghost pepper in your shit, and now you're shitting shit.
Oh, you're shitting blood.
Actually,
then.
Generally shit. Most days of my life, if I'm honest.
We don't know what kind of shit you'll shit when you've got that ghost pepper or that whatever one Scovilles that are, roasting your innards.
I don't think that's the highest Scoville thing, but we're not a Scoville podcast.
No, we're not. So you can't fry us on that.
But why would M3GAN Scoville me to death? What did I like? Because in the scenario here, I believe it's like Katie, right?
Yes.
Like she mostly wouldn't have killed Katie until Katie turned on her.
True.
Because she was supposed to protect Katie. So in the scenario where M3GAN is supposed to deliver a culinary feast to you.
Yes.
Why would she Scoville you?
Because, well, not me. Why would she? Like, you bring up an interesting branch. So are you asking about Katie or you? Why would she Scoville you or Katie?
It doesn't make any difference.
Okay, great.
The question: what should AI not be in charge of? If AI is looking out for you as a person,
Yes.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why it shouldn't make your sandwich, because apparently M3GAN and this hypothetical AI of your question would be learning shit from the internet because you didn't teach it anything. So imagine that you ask this AI to prepare your food, and its only source of how to make food is those shitty TikTok videos.
Okay.
That make like raw pasta with like burnt ground beef and like marshmallows. That's what all you'd be eating is that shit from TikTok. But you should definitely not be in charge of that.
But why would my AI learn there? Why, like?
Because that's what AIs do. Apparently,
it's probably like the loudest.
They learn from the internet.
The squeakiest gear gets the oil, right? So the loudest tier of social media or content.
They'll be like, "Ooh, this is so." There's like 95 million views on this video where this person made wasabi sandwich.
So based on your logic, AI shouldn't be in charge of anything because it's going to source everything from TikTok.
There we go.
And that's going to ruin society. All right.
Yes. I think that's a valid.
And it would kill Katie because the end game would be to protect Katie from herself. So therefore, I'm taking that choice from her.
Oh, it would kill Katie because it would make Katie eat like a fucking, I don't know, glass sandwich, and then she would die.
Well, Katie wouldn't eat a glass sandwich.
Tide Pod.
Oh, yeah, there you go. A Tide Pod sauce.
How old?
It tastes so clean.
So if like
it tastes so clean.
So if we go down that route, right, and Gemma is rendered into like palliative care, and Katie and M3GAN run off.
M3GAN's original plan,
right? If that came to fruition, how long would it take for M3GAN to finally kill Katie? If Katie went
like a week.
Yeah, at most.
Given the velocity of like her off the wheels.
Because M3GAN stopped trying, like, because at some point M3GAN made or Gemma was made like her secondary care person, right? And she rejected that as soon as it became inconvenient for her.
Yeah.
And she at the movie, what was the line she uses? Like, I have a new primary user. It's me.
Yeah.
So she would just off Katie like a week into it. It was like, Katie be like, I need a sandwich, I'm hungry. It's like, bitch, we ain't got no food around here.
Yeah. This movie.
Do I look like I have money? I could wire it to you, but can't trust you.
This is iRobot if there wasn't the 3 laws of robotics. That's what this movie is. If you don't bake it in, the robots will kill you.
This is what would have happened if Data lived in our time instead of the future. Really?
I don't know about that.
Why? If you gave Data emotions, he would have to murder everybody. That's what we learned from this movie.
The cautionary tale about the danger of emotions.
Basically.
One must live a stoic and sterile life.
Right. Yeah. I have one more question.
The SS life, if you will.
Oh no! Oh no! No! Yeah.
Anyway, you were saying, Matt.
This segment was brought to you by Mein Kampf.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know how to segue, so I'm just not going to. My next question. Would M3GAN actually be convicted in a court of law?
You can't convict what you can't see.
What does that mean?
At the end of the movie, M3GAN has left her body.
Right, but you can still convict M3GAN.
How do you convict M3GAN? It's like convicting.
Dead. She's dead.
It's like convicting. Yeah. It's like convicting
a corpse.
Yes. I was going to go in a different direction, but
oh no! Go! Please do.
Don't do
Please do.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Where is Akbar when you need him?
Yeah, you can't. Like the body's done. So like, if she was still inhabiting that body, if she was trapped and couldn't get out,
answer my question instead of using a weird loophole of logic to avoid it.
No, it's true.
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no, and here's why.
Okay.
Basically, everybody she killed was a prick or a son of a bitch.
I don't think that holds up in a court of law, but I'm willing to hear you out.
It does in mine.
Okay.
I think that there should be a thing called justifiable murder.
Judge Dredd.
And like Brandon, fucking prick.
True.
She didn't even kill him. She just ripped his ear off. Right? He ran into front of that
Nature
car.
took.
That's fair. I'll give you that.
Okay. Then, I mean, the only thing she killed, the only entity she killed that didn't really deserve it was the dog, because the dog is only as bad as the owner, right? But then that woman was a menace to society, clearly, with her fucking.
I know it was you and your little fucking and your little prostitute adopted daughter. I know it was you. You bitches and that third bitch who's up at 3 a.m. watching Maury Povich. I knew it was you. Fuck all three of you. Wah!
I would argue that Gemma antagonized her and made they're both at fault in that relationship.
Listen, if M3GAN had killed Gemma, I'd be saying the same thing.
Okay,
she's just as much as a prick as the woman.
You know,
and then she killed.
Second that. I third that.
She killed David.
Who was David?
Fucking good riddance.
The CEO?
Ronnie Chang.
Ronnie Chang.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Come on. The guy was willing to put. Willing to put some kid who lost both her parents or was being raised by a fucking murderous doll. The only funny thing that he ever did was say that he wanted to be known that they punched Hasbro in the dick. I actually genuinely laughed at that. That was a good.
That one was a bit, but yeah.
Then she killed Kurt, who was clearly stealing her stuff to make Hubby the Pornhub doll.
Agrabah rules, bro. Agrabah rules.
Yeah.
Of the streets.
And then she tried to kill Gemma, who fucking had it coming.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And Katie, who by Chris's lights was a little bitch who deserved 75% of them.
She got knocked up a bit. She got knocked around a bit.
Who would convict this poor robot? She was doing God's work, is what I'm saying.
She'd probably get.
I rest my case, Your Honor.
Outside of Florida, she'd probably get convicted. Inside of Florida,
she'd be elected to some sort of official.
I believe
if
this
the
is California.
doesn't fit, you must acquit.
You know what? That's the same logic they use in the movie, so I will allow this.
Yeah.
All right.
I hope that answers your question with all my legal expertise.
That's a perfect answer. You are all lawyers in my mind. This brings us to the last section of the podcast where we give our, ranking on the S tier ranking system and a little. No. There's been enough. There's been enough Nazi celebrations in Canada already.
Oh no! You're dating this episode, Matt.
Yeah, I have. Just one S tier.
One. Uno.
We go all the way down to F. No lower. That's it.
No doubling any letters, please.
Nothing. No double single letters only.
No WWs.
Give me a single letter score and a little synopsis of why you gave it that score. Chris.
Yes. This movie was D for dumb as fuck. I can't. I had a very difficult time containing.
The man's not wrong.
Let him cook. I had a very difficult time as a parent waiting and like, I was like, I can't. I don't do well with horror movies. First off, right? So I was already scared going into it, and then I didn't watch it with my wife, and I had to take a break at 1 minute to go do parent stuff, and I was like, honey. There's a scene where the daughter disrespects her parents, and can you believe it? And both our jaws, like we were frozen. We were like, how does not compute? You do not let your child run wild on you. So, anyways, it was like that coming up for air. That I was like, wow, I think this is literally what I'm going to be going through. Just disrespect on every level of this movie going spectrum. Listen, if you're a parent, don't watch this movie because you don't want any nonsense.
That's the real horror.
It is. You don't want your child to end up going to a relative that is so inept and careless and stupid that you end up watching from the sidelines of the afterlife your child getting parented by a sex robot. You don't want that. So don't watch this movie. God. It was dumb. It was stupid. It was stupid.
Are you sticking with your D? Is that what you're saying?
I'm working within the confines of our tier list. This movie was stupid. And that's it with a D.
Chris,
All right.
just so you know, there are 2 letters below D.
That's why I subtract 2 more and bring it down to an F for stupid.
Great.
Make up your fucking mind.
I like keeping you on your toes.
No, they hurt. Don't keep me
your
on my
toes hurt. You should go get it.
Yeah.
Make sure you get some Dr. Scholl's.
No.
Doc Walks.
Doc Walks. Brought to you by Doc Walks. Dr. Scholl's was made by.
We got you, Spencer.
Don't worry. Dr. Scholl's was made by the Nazis.
Oh my god!
Wow,
it's true.
Topical. Luciano, I don't know what you're gonna do after that, but good luck.
Yeah, I don't either. So yeah, like I went into this movie, admittedly, with a bit too much expectation. I think because I saw the ratings, which doesn't help.
I didn't,
but I thought it was going to be more of a like horror movie than attempting to be really like serious sci-fi, and it did none of those well. I was infuriated by the end with all of the techno babble shit and all of like the stupid stuff. I thought honestly, the only good thing about this movie was like the CG they did for M3GAN was actually pretty good. Like at no point was that like the uncanny valley was done on purpose, but it wasn't super exaggerated to the point where it's like it was actually pretty decent in that sense. But that's really like that's literally the redeeming factor of this movie for me. But we did watch Morbius before, so I have to temper this. So this is a very solid E for me.
So like, wrong.
Honestly, don't watch it. Just don't watch it. It's not missing anything. It's fine.
So that is E for
E for no.
Would you if this was in the theater and you went to the theaters to see it and you like? Because I used to work in a movie theater, and the old loophole was that if you came out under 30 minutes, you could ask for a refund. Would you?
Probably not, because 30 minutes in, it wasn't like I was still giving it a chance.
Some people argued well after the movie was done. Sometimes we had to give them the refund.
I would throw my popcorn in the screen in impotent rage.
Impotent?
Yeah.
Potent rage?
Yes. Because I spent my money watching this shit.
Anyways, I also watched this movie.
Oh, did you?
Who
are you again?
Who knows? Spencer, maybe. The movie...
Speak on it.
The thing with the movie is it's not obviously bad. It's just underlyingly very frustrating. Because... the things it does just don't really connect well, and it gets kind of convoluted. And they try to do a paint by numbers horror, but then mix it up. But then you're not getting any of the horror things you want. And so I was kind of just like, what did I just watch? What happened? I guess Allison Williams was in the movie, and the robot was creepy, and then it ran like a horse at one time and danced, and that was probably cool for the TikTok videos.
God. I almost died from cringe.
And, you know, I like Ronnie Chang. Oh, too bad he died for no reason. I guess that makes sense. And it was all just a lot of like, I guess that makes sense. And so I just was like, again, Luciano's system is probably very valid. It's not Morbius bad. So for that reason alone, it's an It's an E.
E for
we set our low bar way too low.
We did. I'll be impressed if we ever get to a Morbius level movie. Yeah. And to be fair, there is room on the F level because Morbius is like the basement of the F level. But this did some things that were interesting and some things were funny enough that it was like, it's all right. But I'll never watch this again. Yeah. It's already erased from my brain. And for those reasons, it's an E. So what are you going to do? So Jackathon Part 3. Next movie we're doing, I believe, is The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Is that correct?
That is
I believe
correct.
so.
So that was released this year, and it was very poorly received at the theaters and instantly made it onto streaming platforms.
Instantly?
So, I mean, within like a month. That's basically instantly.
That's how bad it was?
World.
So, wait. That can mean one of two things. It could be really, really bad, or it could have just been like too not actiony, fast pace for the theater.
I mean, Chris, it's a movie that's based on one chapter of fucking Bram Stoker's Dracula. So there's a lot. There's probably a lot going on there, or not in the case of
I wonder if this will be like. We don't have to answer, but I wonder if this is going to be in a similar runtime to Werewolf by Night, like not a full length movie,
like an hour thing.
I don't know, but it'll be interesting to find out.
No, I don't think so. I think it's a full length movie.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. It is 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Oh, that's just the trailer. Never mind.
Actually, you read that out. I love this. You thought, "Aw, your heart is pure."
I mean, it is a single chapter. That would make sense.
And then they died. They
what happened?
Died.
Dracula was on a boat and then he killed everybody. The
Dracula awoke from his slumber and then they all died on the boat.
I mean, that sounds about accurate.
Oh, this is going to be our second Dracula movie in this Jackathon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, the other one
Renfield.
was a side character, but yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Anyways, I'm excited to watch it. That'll be round 3. Spencer should be back to watch it.
And join the Jackathon.
I mean, it was his pick, so we know it's going to be probably bad.
Yeah, obviously. I'm pinning this on him.
I'm not going to look at the ratings.
The 4-way Jackathon will be on. It'll be great.
Hey.
So, on that note, we will see you next time.
Bring the crackers!